Okay, back then here I told you it is understood here that we don't have to specify if you're catting a file. You don't have to specify, like for example, if you're catting a redirect this file here, cat let me clear the screen, ls, and I'm going to cat loop.sh. Sorry, I was working last night, so I'm sleepy. So if you do cat loop.sh is gonna read the file here, right? No questions asked. Okay, so that's a bad example. Let's do file1.txt. So it has some content in it, right? So it read the file, but if you, this is the same thing, this action is also the same thing if you do this. Okay, it's gonna read the same file here. I told you back then that you don't really have to specify this here, but this is kind of understood here. But now this is necessary during the running the script here, that you're telling system to look for input file. So I'm providing the input file, file1.txt. There you go. It's the same output here. When you do cat file1, it's the same output. Now that we're gonna put this inside the file, this is necessary here. You need to provide this. Okay, let's go ahead and see how that will work. So I'm going to copy template, and then I'm going to do read file1, read file.sh, okay? And then I'm going to go in there and edit the file. Over here, I'm going to say bin bash. I'm going to say while loop to read the file. Okay, and how do you do that? While read x, while reading x, do, what do you want to do? Echo $x. Okay, and then done. Okay, so let's go ahead and save and exit. What I'm going to do is here I'm going to say read file read file.sh. What am I doing wrong here? Here I have to put the period and a slash to run the script. There you go. Either you could do that, or you could put directly inside the file here. What was the name of the file? File1.txt. Okay, so I think I put in the wrong input file. See, all these things matter here, okay? So this is the wrong one. You put in greater, less than actually. File1.txt, right? Why is it not running? Oh, there is nothing in file 1. What happened to file 1? Oh, I see. When I ran this, I put like the wrong greater than sign, so it overwritten, I think. Yeah. So what I'm gonna do is vi file 1. Okay, it's working now. Because somehow while I'm doing playing around with it, the file 1 got overwritten. So this is an example of a static file. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show you how to make it dynamic, okay? So you could put whatever file name at the prompt. So this is an example of static input, right? I'm gonna also put here read file. Anybody has any questions about this? How this is working? Okay, so this is a static input. I'll show you how we're gonna request at the command line. Okay, so this is enough here. So example of static input. Let me see. Example of dynamic input. What does dynamic means? Then you have a liberty to put in whatever you want. So over here, I'm gonna clear this. I'm gonna say copy template. I'm gonna say read file .dy.sh. Okay, I'm gonna say read file read file .dy. In here, I'm gonna say while loop to read the file input at CLI. Okay, I'm gonna say while read X is gonna be almost the same. Okay, then it's gonna say do echo X, echo $X, and done. Okay, now input, you're telling input to do $1. So what will happen is it will stop at when you run the script, it will stop and ask you to not stop and ask you, but it will, you have to put the file in there whenever you want. So here, if you run this like this here, it may not work. So it's not working, right, actually. It's not working. So what you have to do is, all you have to do is specify the name of the files now. File1.txt. Okay, you could do it 2 times. File1.txt. So it reads it twice. Maybe let's see here. If I do ls, let me see if I could read one more file. Let's do file error. So it's not reading 2 files at a time. It's reading, so it reads only 1 file at a time here. So this is how you give the input. Okay. Here, I'm gonna say, or on the bottom, no, put it on the top. Example to run this script. Okay, so this is how you start building up on the script you have. Okay, so I'm gonna save and exit, and I'm gonna put down read dynamic.sh. So now let me show you how you could use this here. Okay, So I'm gonna say using this script to ping multiple servers, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the same script and modify it a little bit, okay? So what I'm gonna do is CP, and then I'm gonna name it read file. I think I already did ping, right? So let's see what this ping is all about. So we are over here. This one is limited to servers we are putting in separately here, right? Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna say ls so I'm gonna copy this, and then I'm gonna say copy file dy.sh, and then I'm gonna make it server ping.sh, okay? So I'm gonna go into server ping.sh and gently modify this. Okay, so it's gonna read X, and it's gonna do, instead of simply doing echo, echo here, what I am gonna do is I'm gonna say ping -c 2 times $x. Okay, so each line inside the file will become X, and then it will continue on. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do vi. I'm gonna say server. Let's do. So I'm gonna do vi server list.txt. Okay. Over here, I'm gonna do google.com, PROTech.com, CNN.com, BBC.com. What else we have, guys? Give me some names here. Let me look at the phone. Okay. Apple.com, and what else is Facebook. Okay, and so let's see here. Let's copy this. So I'm going to get rid of this here. I'm going to just put in the IP address, okay? Okay, so this would be the endless list here, okay? So let's do this here. Here. All right, let's have some fun. I'm going to save and exit. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to run our script here, server ping.sh, and so nothing happens here, right? So now what you have to do is you have to give the name server list.txt. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is going to loop through so let me copy this here actually. Okay, okay, so it will loop through and ping the servers 2 times Okay, so I'm gonna run this, and even before that, let me server list.txt. Okay, so let's look at it here. If it's in here, so actually this is a real world scenario at your job here. You will be putting in the list of real servers or IP address names in there. Okay, so it's going through pinging twice. So it's pinging BBC now. It is doing Apple, Facebook, and so at one point it gave an error. So I think BBC.com. CNN is always a problem, I think, yeah. Okay, so it pinged. Okay, so let me run it one more time. Stuck. So the packet to transmitters received 0 packet loss time usage ping -c count. So I don't know why is this giving me error here. It pinged maybe I put in a space in there, that's why it's giving me a problem. So okay, yeah. It's working actually. Okay, so if you have a long list of servers and if you want to find out which servers are pinging, which servers are not pinging, you could do this here. So even in there, what you could do is you could graph for a line. You could graph for this line here, this here, right? You could do grep and then you put in this here. So it's gonna filter that out and give you the only that information here. Let's see. So if it had went through all this here, that means it's pinging, right? Ping is giving a lot of output, but what you did is you kind of had this here. So when you grab this for this, that means all these servers had worked here, okay? And so for example, let's put in a server which doesn't exist. Right in the middle, I'm gonna say none. Okay, then what you could do is ping this here. Okay, so there you go. So now what you could do is you could get a better picture here that it pinged all these servers, and the one it couldn't ping is this one here. And then you have like 10 hosts in this, and all of them are responding, and the one which are not responding, you could use your head to kind of filter out the things here. So if you're getting this here, you could safely say this one is working, and if you get something like this, then you could say, okay, these are not working, let's work on those servers. So this part here is you could have the unlimited list here. So yeah, I'm trying to say is once you get the good grasp of what is going on in here, all you have to do is like do a bunch of copy and paste. That's what it is. So I copy and paste it here. In the real world scenario, you would be working with, not one or two, but a couple hundred servers at any given moment. Okay, so I'm going to run this here. Boom, it's going to run through, and then so whatever the ones are in there is getting filtered out. Okay, so everybody with me, like, you're getting the concept here, right? How this is working. Okay, any questions? I mean, I know 3 of you guys are there. I didn't hear yet who's on, who's not on. But hopefully you are listening and then you're getting the information I'm showing you here. Okay, please. This is really good. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, so I think you guys got the idea what is this happening here, right? Okay. So this is a file, server list.txt. Okay, so now the next concept I'm going to show you is the delimiter. Okay, so remember when we use the awk command, it has the delimiter in it, right? Let's see here, Control F, AWK and hit enter. So what is this going to do is it's going to read through the file and filter out the delimiters in here, okay? And then it will give you the better text outcome here. Like here you have filtering out column 1 and column 4. So you could use this command here, okay? So let's take a look. Similarly, we have something in here. So let me cancel this. So the next concept is called IFS. Here I'm going to say IFS. IFS stand for internal field separator and delimiter. Okay, so delimiter, what is the delimiter? Delimiter examples. Okay, semicolon, colon, hyphen, comma, period. These are all the delimiters here, okay? So what I'm going to do is let's write a script to use this as a delimiter here. So I'm going to say cp template, and I'm going to say ifs.sh. Okay, so in here I'm going to say this script is running IFS delimiter, and I think I'm going to use a semicolon now. And in here, this is parsing. It's called parsing. It means separating, parsing the file. Let's see what is parsing means. Analyze into its parts and describe their or act or result of obtaining by parsing a string or a text. Parse something. It's the same thing as purge. You know what purge is? Purge is like read, clear, or free, like you're kind of separating. That's what it means. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to say something here like echo. Here I'm going to say enter a file to parse. Okay, and in here let's see here. So what we're going to do is we're going to do read file. We'll provide the name of the file at the input, okay? So read file, okay? Now what I'm going to do is echo enter the delimiter to use example semicolon colon minus comma, and then a period. Okay, so let's see here. Now what we're gonna do is and now what we're gonna do is read D. So at the command prompt, we're gonna tell the system to read the delimiter you're providing. Now you have to say IFS. IFS is already built in here, so you cannot use it. So you go IFS $D. Okay. So what is it doing here is user input of delimiter choice. And what will happen here is IFS is built in and recognizes delimiter. Now let's write a while loop here. While read -r. Actually what we're gonna do is before that I'm gonna create a file here. Here's the thing, you have to look at the file before you create the script here, okay? Let's see here, I'm going to create a file. I'm going to say delimiter file .txt. In here, I'm going to do ZMPT01, a semicolon, then I have 192.168.56.100 and a semicolon. So what I'm saying is you have like a file, you will get it, which is like doesn't make sense when you're just looking at it here. Okay, so then you have to look at delimiter here, 64 GB. Uh, 500 GB. Yeah, so it's good. HDD is hard drive information is 500 GB. Okay, and RAM, it has RAM is about 8 GB. So you will get a file which is like crumbled, it's packed together like this, and then you get like processor i7, right? i7. So what will happen is you will have a file like this here, okay? So if you look closely, you already determined where you could use the where you can use this as a separator here. So you notice here that this is actually giving you good information, but it's very closely packed here. So you determine the semicolon is the separating field between all this here. So what you do is you save and exit here. Okay, so now let's go back to our IFS script. So in here you have to know what you're doing here. Okay, so before that let me copy this line here so that we know. Okay, so this is an example of a file to parse, right? So I'm gonna save and exit out of this. What I'm gonna do is continue writing my file. So let's see here, the ifs.sh, right? So I'm gonna say read -r. Okay, what does read -r is? It will read the fields here. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is so I determined all this field. I could give the name to each field here. This could be host name, this could be IP address, okay, and this is CPU, and this is a hard drive, and this is the RAM, and then this is the processor. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say host I'm going to say host, IP, CPU, hard drive, RAM. I'm going to say processor. Okay, now what I'm going to say is do. I'm going to say echo host name, okay, and then I'm going to say a colon, and then I'm going to do dollar, and then where is the other thing coming from? Here. And I'm going to do this. Okay, and then I'm going to say yy 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, so here I'm going to go processor. Here I'm going to say RAM. And here, yeah, you have to change it to RAM here. RAM is random access memory. Okay, and here is hard drive. So it has to match what you're typing up there. CPU. No, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and I'm gonna say CPU. And here I'm gonna say IP address. Okay, actually I'm not done there yet. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give some space there, echo. Echo, echo. And then I'm gonna say done. And then I'm gonna use my good old input file $. Now this time I have to say $file, okay? Because on the top I said file. Okay, whatever that file becomes, it will be inputted in here. This one, read file. So I'm gonna say ifs.sh, and then I'm gonna say just give this information here, delimiter file.txt, and hit enter. Oh, okay, I may not have to, so I just hit enter here and enter the delimiter I'm using it. I'm gonna do this. There you go. It will do it for all the lines here. How many lines do you have in there? You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So it's going to do it all 25 lines. Okay, enter a file to parse. I'm going to put in and then the delimiter, where I'm going to start the delimiter. I'm going to do this and hit enter here. So it ran through this 25 lines and then it did a parsing for us. Okay, so all this should be 25. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Oh, whatever it is. So let's see here if I could delete some. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm going to put semicolon, and then I'm going to say delimiter.txt. Okay, line 31. What is line 31? What is it? Set numbers, right? Done. Input file is file. Okay, so let's see here. Let me quit this. No such file or directory. Line 31. What is the problem with line 31? Oh, my bad. I have to enter the file first. You have to enter the file first. And then you have to do the semicolon. There you go. Okay, so this is all these scripts are very good. You should keep these for rest of your life, because you could come back here and refer this too. Okay, so is this too much for today? Okay, let me cover one more topic and then we'll go from there here. So let me see how much more is left here. Okay, so before that, let me just go ahead and cover some more topics here. We're gonna cover what we're gonna cover next is signals. In scripting, there is a process called trap, signals, and quit option. So if the script gets stuck somewhere, it will give you to terminate the it will give you an option to terminate the script here. Okay, so it's called traps, signals, and quit option. Okay, so let me copy this. And I'm going to say signal name. And in here, I'm going to say signal value. And the effect is going to have. Okay, the signal name is SIGINT, all capital letters. SIGINT. Okay, and then the value associated with this signal is 2. And what does it do? Interrupt from keyboard, okay? It will interrupt from keyboard. Sig term, and the effect is termination signal. Okay, I'll explain you what it means. All these things are built in here. Okay, over the years there are some problems we're facing. Okay, so all these things doesn't just show up overnight, it has happened over the years. So this value is 17, 19, 23. Okay, and then it will, what it does, it will stop the process. PROCESS. Okay. So let's see here. What I'm going to do is okay, so So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy template, and then I'm going to say quit quit.sh. Okay, so I'm going to go vi quit.sh, and in here this is an example of quitting the script. Okay, in here I'm going to say trap. This is built in, trapped is built in. I'm going to say echo the program is terminated. Okay, and so here you have to do sig int or sig term termination or signal stop. So what does this signal means? Interrupt. SIGINT means interrupt. SIGTR means terminate, and SIG stop means it will stop. So it will get the signal. So you have some choices here. You could write more large choices, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to write something while square brackets. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say $choice is not equal to Q. Okay, and $choice is not equal to uppercase Q. Okay, so this is like a boolean here. It's going to do some boolean. So do echo, I'm going to say here main menu I say echo so I'm gonna say echo choice 1. Let's see here what I'm doing here. So what I'm going to do is echo 1, and like this I'm going to say choice 1. Choice 4 is so you have something like this menu here, right? I'm not doing too much in here. I'm just showing you how to quit this. Choice Q is quit /exit. Okay, now what I'm going to do is read choice. And I'm going to say clear the screen, and I'm going to done. Let's see what will happen here. I'm going to say run quit. So now I'm not, I don't have choices here like the other one here, but I'm just showing you the how to quit the queue. Okay, so if I push Q here and hit enter, the program will quit. 3, 4, 5. So it's not quitting. How do you want to quit it? You want to push Q to quit. Either uppercase or lowercase. I'm going to push uppercase Q so it quit. Why is it quitting? Because quitting is also one of the option here. Trap. All these things will come over the time here, but don't worry about scripting too much. If you know the easy part, that is good enough also, okay? So read choice, clear, done. Okay, I think this is more than enough for today, so I'll stop here. We'll catch up next week, okay? And so let's see here. Okay, so let's see here. All right. I'm going to stop here, and we'll catch up next week here, okay? All right, if you have any questions, put it in the chat. If not, then I'll see you next week. You all have a good day.